as we discussed before, for the CCA certification, we don't need to know all these commands. It's not that much mandatory, but it is highly recommended to know that. Whoever is claiming that they know Hadoop, so it's recommended to know these commands. So without knowing these basic commands, there is no point to go with advanced things. Okay, so that's the reason I'm covering this part. This part is not at all related with your CCA, but if you want to do any small issues, if you want to fix, no, if you want to work with um, any kind of moving the data from local to HDFS, from R1 directory, one directory. If you want to play with your HDFS, yes, we should have the knowledge about these commands. Without knowing these commands, without knowing this HDFS knowledge, whatever we have discussed till today, like what is the secondary name node, what is the backup node, what is the name node, what is the data node, without knowing this, there is no point to do a certification. Okay, that is the reason no, I have taken you guys to do this. And after this we'll be seeing some more little admin commands which we need for the development and which is not required for the CCA. After the admin commands, guys, we'll be discussing a few classes about Java. Okay, the basic Java, and I'll be taking you through a MapReduce. So MapReduce also, it will be one or two examples. So the rest of the examples, you know that where they are. They're in my GitHub. You can go ahead and search for the GitHub, and you have the videos as well for the rest of the MapReduce things, because we don't need those things for CCA certification. After the MapReduce, immediately we'll be jumping into Hive, and Hive I'll be covering each and every point because Hive is little important for your CCA. And after that we'll be moving to SQL, and in the SQL we'll be seeing all the commands. Scoop, not the SQL, Scoop. So we'll be moving to the Scoop. We'll be looking at all the commands which is not only required for the CCA. We'll be talking about all the commands. Okay. After Scoop, we'll be seeing some of the Flume concept, and we'll be starting Scala and the Scala basics, which are the Scala things are required for your Spark. We'll be talking about those high order functions. Okay, then we'll be moving to the Spark. In the Spark, we'll be looking at the loading the data, doing some operations in it. Then Python and PySpark. And Avro, yes, Avro also is required for a certain limit. We'll be seeing all how to evaluate or how to get the schema from it. We will be seeing them. So then our course will be completed. Okay, this is the plan for no, the rest of the coming days. And I think by next week also I'll be same kind of busy because my manager is still no, traveling there, and he's in States, and so he wants we need a no, evening calls. Okay, that's it. Yeah, I may travel, but I don't think it is not yet confirmed because they have some policy. We need to complete some something, and we are not I'm not planning to travel as of now. I'm not traveling. I'll be here itself. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the rest of the commands which is little required. I think we have this. Yeah, there is one command, expunge. Okay, before discussing about expunge, I would like to make you an introduction of what is expunge, how it will work, and before that there is something we need to discuss. Let's go ahead and discuss about it. Okay, I think everyone knows about trash. Trash, some people say trash. It is a trash. So what is a trash? Can anyone tell me what is a trash? Recycle bin.
When you deal, yes, recycle bin.
So
When you
recycle,
delete the some files will be
yeah,
placed in the
trash, right? So this trash, what we will be doing whenever you delete a data, it'll, for the safer side, it will not permanently delete it. It will keep it in a trash, or I mean recycle bin in Windows. Correct, right? There are some questions from chat window. Okay, no questions here. Okay, so that recycle bin we can recover from the recycle bin, right? That is for your HDFS file system. Fine. Sorry, that's for your local file system. Fine. So recycle bin is for Windows file system. Fine. So what about HDFS? HDFS also is a special kind of file system, right? This is also a file system. So it also needs some recycle bin. It also need some recycle bin. So how the recycle bin works in, I mean, I can say trash works in your HDFS. As I said before, even your HDFS is also a file system. Even your HDFS is also a file system. Okay, so we need to uh, enable the trash. So as we discussed before, in your HDFS file system, the trash is disabled. By default, the trash is disabled. How to enable the trash? Then how to check the trash? Let's go ahead and look at that first. Go to your default XML file. I think I have already opened. If I didn't open, I'll open it now. No. Okay. So let me open my. Okay. Can anyone tell me where is my default files? Default XML files. Where is the default XML files? What is the location for that? Okay. I'll be taking over this. Open with JEdit. Okay. Let's go here. Search for the trash. It's not there. Sorry, not this file, not HDFS file. It's the core site.xml. Sorry, it's a core default. It's a core default file. Okay, now you can look it for here. Trash. Okay, so look at guys here. Look at here something called fs.trash.interval. What is this? And it is also showing 0. So number of minutes after which checkpoint gets deleted. Number of minutes after which the checkpoint is to get deleted. What is checkpointing? I'll tell you. If 0, the trash feature is disabled. If it is 0, the trash feature is disabled. By default, your trash feature is disabled. By default, your trash feature is disabled. If okay, if disabled, this option may be configured both on the server and as well as client. So you can do it over name node as well as data node. If the trash is disabled server side, then the client side configuration is checked. If the trash is enabled on the server side, then the value will be configured on the server side is used. I mean, it's a very simple guys. So if it is enabled or disabled, ideally it is enabled or disabled. If this is disabled, this is disabled, whatever the data you are deleting, deleting HDFS by using -rm command, that will be completely deleted. The permanently will be deleted. You cannot recover it. If it is enabled, so you specified some 10 minutes or 20 minutes or something, your trash is enabled and that data will be deleted after 20 minutes. Okay, there is another configuration, fs.trash.checkpoint.interval. Number of minutes between trash checkpoints should be smaller or equal to the your interval. So this interval and this one should be either small or same. If 0, the value is set, the value of the FSM trash interval, every time the checkpointer runs, it checks the new checkpoint out current and removes the checkpoints created more than trash interval ago. See, what does it mean? I have created a 10 minutes. So here also I said 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes and it will go and check. It will go and check is the trash has been removed or not. It has been removed or not. If it is not, if it is, see here, every time the checkpointer runs, it creates a new checkpoint because I need to run next 20 minutes or next 30 minutes, right? Out of the current and removes the checkpoint created. If already created checkpoint, it's removed more than this interval, more that 20 minutes. If it's more than that time, it is available. If it is available, a new checkpoint will be created and the old will be removed. Okay, what is these two configurations talking about? These two configurations are talking about your trash interval. If I delete the data, what will happen? It will go into the trash and you can configure it. Now there is something called where is that? This one, expunge. What this expunge will do? Suppose if you execute the expunge command, let's go ahead here. It will empty the trash. It will empty the trash. It will make sure that it will execute the checkpoint. It will empty the trash. So before that, to clean your trash, like permanent delete, to permanently delete your trash, what you need to do? You have to execute the trash, or before that it has to be enabled. That's the trash expunge command is. Expunge command is meant for. If you execute manually, the checkpoint, whatever the interval has been there, right? So whatever the data was there in the trash, it will be removed when the checkpoint is moved. When this the interval is moved. Okay, that is about the trash. Let's look at, we have seen replication factor statistics. Let's look at another important command is stat. What is the stat? I want to understand what is my file size, what is the file name, what is the block, when it has been created. So I want to find this kind of information. So when I want to find this kind of information, what we will do, we will use a stat. Let's take the first some data, and I'm taking this data. Okay, I'm taking this data. Let's take this data. Hadoop fs -stat stat. I need to specify, there are some formats like %b, this is the path, slash bigger file, right? What is the file name? Bigger file 2.txt. Press enter. Look at guys here. You'll be seeing the output, what output it is giving. So the slash %b is telling that the block, I mean the total size of it. Total, I can say it is um, it's a block size. Total, I think total size it is, not the block size, total file size it is. Let's go ahead and check it. Stat, what is the percentage? %10, it will tell the name of the file. And let's go here. Yeah. Okay. In the specified format, the total file size is %b. Yes, total file size is %b. File size in blocks. And the owner, you can find the group using %g. You can use the g. It will tell you the which group group the owner is belong to, the super group. You can see that whether it is a super group or not. You can see that. And you can use a %n to get the name of the file. Anyway, we know the file name, but if we want to get the file name, only file name, you can get it. And if you want to see replications, what is the replication factor for the specific file? What is the replication factor for the specific file? And you can also see when it has been created. You can also see when it has been created by using %y. It is created on 20th of January, 29th of January this year. This file has been created. At that time also it's showing. And you don't want in human readable format, and you want in the Linux format. You can see this. You can see this. This is your Linux timestamp. The same. This time and this time both are similar. This time and this time both are similar. Okay, this is in Linux Unix format. I can say Linux timestamp, and this is a human readable in date format, date and time format. Okay, let's check. We have covered, yeah, whoa, to find the block size and user. So to check the user, we'll see this won't use. If you want to see your block size of this, it will show you my block size is 32 MB. You can see it is a 32 MB file. It is a 32 MB file. If you want, you can, this in bytes, you can convert into bytes, MB. It's in bytes, you can convert into I mean it's in MB, you can convert it. If you want to see user, who is user, and you can also find the user hyphen user. Hadoop one is my user, and I belong to super group. I belong to, where is that? I belong to super group. This is the file name, and this is the replication factor. This is the date it has been created, and this is the block size of it. Any doubts? So you may ask the interview question saying that I want to know the block size and I want to know the replication size for the specific file. So you can use the stat command. By using stat command, there is also one more command. Because I'm discussing about interview question. Let me bring that for you. There is also one more command to check a specific file blocks where and all it is loaded. Okay. Hadoop fs ck hyphen file hyphen files, I think hyphen files slash locations hyphen locations hyphen locations hyphen blocks fsck. I have executed this command, it's long before. Let me check it, guys. It is, I think it will show. Let's check it. Yep, good. For this specific file, you can look at here. This is a for specific file, and this is the block pool. This is the block pool, and this is the block, and this is the block ID. Okay, this is the block, and this is the length of that block, size of the block, and this is the replication factor, and this is the data node IP address and port number where the block is located. This is the other way to find out where my blocks are stored and which data node my block is stored, what is the replication factor, what is the size of the block, what is the block ID, what is the block pool ID. All the information you can come to know. For this specific file, I have a 9 blocks. Start with a 0, and it is the data node. Because I have only one data node, it is showing in the one data node. And you guys know it, my replication factor is 1. That's why it is showing the replication factor 1. And you guys know my block size is 32 MB. If you see 0 to 7 is all a 32 MB, 32 MB, 32 MB, but the last block is smaller block because my file is I mean my file is not equally say 32 MB into 8, 32 MB into 9. So my file size was, I think, 273 MB file. So divide by 32, you will see that the last block will get the small amount of data. And this is another important thing which we need to understand. This is the where your data node IP address. Suppose that the file is loaded into multiple machines. Yes, I will get the multiple machine IP addresses here. Okay, and it is showing you healthy because my cluster size and my cluster is healthy. So that file also healthy. Nothing is corrupted there. And this is the file size in bytes. And total directories, there is no directory. Because I'm directly giving the full path till file. Okay, and total files only one file. You can also look at here what is the blocks and what is the replicated, minimally replicated or not. Yes, minimally replicated, all are. Over replica no blocks, under replica no blocks, miss replica no blocks. Default replication factor is 1, and average replication is also 1. And corrupted blocks, there are no corrupted blocks, and there are no missing replicas. And number of data nodes only 1, number of racks also only 1. So this is the important command, guys. I recommend you to remember this and try it in your environment, because my students, I think a couple of students has been asked the same interview question for them. Okay, how will I see my block locations? I want to see block locations which data node it is. So the before command, what are the stat command we have seen? The stat command will tell you the block name, when it has been created, replication factor, and block size based on the parameter you pass, but it will not show where and which location it is. It will not show block ID. It will not show block pool ID, right? To get that information, yes, we have something called like this. I hope everyone is clear about this command. Any doubts? This is another important command to know to remember.
Yeah. Hi Ravi. I have one question. What is the difference between percentage %B and percentage %O? The
Okay.
stat commands.
In the stat command, the percentage %B gives you a total file size and percentage %O gives you a block size. Let me show you
Okay.
that. The percentage %B, it gives you a total file size. It's a total file size, and percentage %O will give you a block size. Okay, you can check it. Okay.
Okay. So if we, yeah, okay. So we can get the number of blocks from also here, right?
You cannot get it. You have to
Yeah,
manually
the total
calculate.
size of the file.
You have to manually calculate. That's what.
Yeah, yeah. That is manually after calculating, we can get the number of blocks allocated for
That's
this
what.
file.
But you will not get the
Right.
locations.
Oh, okay.
But here I can see the locations as well, which machine it is.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. Okay.
Yeah. Any other doubts, guys? Any other doubts? Okay. So let's move to, if you guys don't have any doubt, let's move to the next question. I mean, next command. Okay. The next command is tail. What is the tail command? Let's say I have a bigger file which is loaded into Hdfs. So I don't want to see the complete file. I want to view only last 1 KB of the data. Last 1 KB of the data. So as I shown here, this is my bigger file. If I say cat command on this bigger file, it will take, if I say cat command on this, it will start displaying the whole content of the file. But I don't want to see whole content of the file, but I want to see only the last 1 KB of the data. I mean, it's a little bigger file, 280 MB or 283 MB or 273 MB, I think. So that's why it is loading in this much. So I can break it, not a problem. I'll just control C, I did it, I broke it. So now I don't want to see the complete file, but I want to see only last one part, last 1 KB of the data, last chunk of the data, I can say. I can use tail command. Tail command is as similar as in Linux also. In the Linux, you also have something called tail command, which will list out the last how many number of lines you can look at. You can look at that. Okay. So this is my last 1 KB of the data from that specific file. It may looks a little different, but this is the one. This is I mean, this is the content of the file. This is the content of the file. Okay. Okay. So let's go with and look at the next command. I hope if you want, you guys also can try and let me know the result. Test. This is another important interview question as well as important command in a development environment. So how will you check whether the directory is created or not? How will you check whether the directory exists or not? How will you check whether the file is exist or not? Right? So those, how will you check the size of the file is 0 or not? So these kind of things we will use test command. We'll use test command. This DEFSZ, they have a specific purpose for each and every character. Let's go ahead and look at it. Let's go ahead and Look at it this. Sorry. Let's look at here. -d returns 0 if a path is a directory. Let me check it. It means it's a directory. Whatever you have given, it's a directory. Let me check it. What it is written? How will you know what it is written? It has to return 0. If nothing is written, where is that? Where is that? So to see that, echo dollar question mark. Echo dollar question mark is a Linux command which will tell you that whether the previous command is success or not. Yes, it is 0. It means the previous command was success. It is returning 0. Let's look at the same command. Bigger file.txt. It is not a directory. It is a file. Let's look at it. What it returns. Let's go ahead and echo this 1. It means it is not a directory. So if you give a directory path, it's saying that it is success, that's a directory. And if it is not, if you are saying the file path, if it's telling that it's a file, it's not a directory. Let's check at E. What it is checks whether the path, the given path exists or not. So how we will check whether success or not? Again echo. Yes, it is success. Very good. Let's go ahead and say 22. So 21. This path does not exist. Let's execute this command. So now let's go ahead and check whether it is success or not by using echo dollar. Question mark. It is 1. It means the file is not exist. It means the file is not exist. So dollar question mark is not a specific to Hadoop command. It is like the previous whatever the command you have executed, what is the result of the command, whether it's success or not. Let's say, let me show you here. mkdir slash usr locale and let's say error. It is not success, right? It's not success. Let's go ahead and check your echo dollar 1. It means the previous command is not success. That was a plain Linux command. mkdir is a normal Linux command. So it is saying that no, it is not possible. You cannot. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and check other properties as well for the test command. And -f. It returns if the path is a file. Okay. Before it was telling the directory. If I give a directory, it was returning as a directory or not. So now I want to check whether it's a file or not. Different options, guys, based on these conditions, based on these expressions, or based on these values, you will write your code. You can use echo this 1. No, so 21, right? The file is not exist. We should give 20. So 2. Now execute this 0. Yes, it is a file. The file is exist. Yes, it is a file. The file is exist. So let's look at another command, which is a -s. It will specify that the size of 0, which I mean like is greater than 0 or not. The size of the file is greater than 0 or not. Let's look at here. I'm executing this by using -s. So how to check whether it is true or not? So you have to use again echo dollar s0. Let me give the same something different here, which is available. Let's go ahead and check it what it is written, because the path itself is not exist. path itself is not exist. It's not able to find out this thing. So you want to see the 0-byte file. Yes, I have some 0-byte files. Let me show you that. Let me go to this success file. Underscore success file is 0-byte file. Okay, let's go ahead and look at it, whether it's correctly giving or not. Underscore success file. Just go ahead and check whether it's a 0 bytes or not. Why it is not? It's giving 1. Yeah, it's greater than 0, correct, right? So when it's not greater than 0, correct, right? It is not greater than 0, correct. Returns 0 if the file is greater than, returns 0 greater than 0. If it is 0, it'll return 1, correct? If size is more than 0, then only it'll return 0. Otherwise, it'll return 1. So your file size is 0, correct only. That's why it's returning 1. It's telling that the file size is 0. The condition is failed. That's why 1. Okay. The last command, let's check it. Returns 0 if file is 0 bytes, else return 1. So this is exact little opposite to your size yes command. Okay, let's go ahead and look at it. This makes you a little more clear. Z. Now we should get a result of 0. When I say echo, we should get a result as 0. Yes, we got the result as 0. Okay, so this is the way we test the files. This is how the test command works. This is how the test command works. Any doubt about the test command before moving to text underscore text command? Before moving into hyphen text command.
Hey, Ravi, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, can you able to execute the two commands at a time? I mean, dash tested minus D and then minus C same time. Is
Okay.
it possible?
I mean, I didn't try it. Let me try it. I don't think it'll allow. It'll not allow.
Hmm.
No, it's not allow.
Oh, okay.
Any other doubts, guys? Any doubts, guys?
I think no, Veera. No.
Okay. 1 second, guys. I'm just sending one message. Okay. So let's go with the next command. This is something called text. If you have some files like I think I don't have any sequence file or some other file format of the, look at here, your our kind of files to test this command. So hyphen text command, suppose if you have something called sequence file which you are not in human readable file format, by using hyphen text command you can use the human readable format. But the same file, if you do with the hyphen cat command, you cannot view the data, but by using hyphen text command you can view the data, which will show you in the human readable format. Okay, it will show you in the human readable format. Okay, so this dot dots represents, you can give multiple no, paths, multiple locations. If it's a path, you can give multiple paths. If it's a location, you can give multiple paths. Okay, so this is how this is about the Hdfs. So let's move. Okay, it's 9:45. So if you guys have any doubts and any interview questions has to be discussion, we will go ahead and discuss. Else we can see one or two of basic admin commands. No doubts, guys? No discussion for no interview questions? Okay, so I think no one has any interview questions. Guys, you guys are mute. Okay, please unmute and talk. I think some people are asking something. Okay. Okay, DK asking, I think DK, he's asking that what are the advantages of distributed cache? It's a nice question in the MapReduce. It's also a very important interview question, guys, who are preparing for interview. Please know about the distributed cache. Today morning only I was discussing about this in another class. So distributed cache. So the distributed cache is mainly meant for joining two datasets. Joining two datasets, or it's kind of you want to do some kind of lookup. Okay, let's assume that I have a bigger dataset, dataset 1, which is a bigger dataset, and I have something called dataset 2, which is a small dataset. Let's say this is a small, this is department, and this is employee. So employee always will be bigger dataset, and department is a small dataset. Now here, let's say I have some common field in this, okay, which is department ID. Let's assume that. Now I want to process these two datasets based on the department ID. So let's say it's a department ID. Fetch the department details for each and every employee. So this dataset has employee name. I'll take only very few columns. Employee name, employee ID, employee name, salary, and department. Let's assume that ID, name, salary, department. And this has like department ID and department details and department head. Let's assume that. Okay. Now I want to process this both the data sets. I want to get an output for employee ID, name, his salary, and his department name, and his department description, ideally department name, and you want to get the who is the head of the department. So if I want output like this, what I need to do? I need to join both the data sets. If I want the output like this, what I need to do? I need to join the both the data sets. Name, salary, department name, and department head. So now this is a very big data set. This is a very big data set. So if I want to process through MapReduce, so I don't think it's a good to discuss more about the MapReduce here. So I'm going a little high level. So the people who already know MapReduce, they can have a revision on it. So if I pass both the data sets to MapReduce, so the so there are multiple type of joins. Okay, either you can do a map set join, you can do a reduce site join. So what I'm going to discuss is kind of map set join. Okay, if this is a small data set, right? So this data set, what we will do, we'll keep in some cache memory. That's called distributed cache. The cache memory. Cache memory means obviously it will be available for each and everyone, right? This is called distributed cache. What we will do, we will keep this small data set in the distributed cache by using, there is something called distributed cache dot add file or add local file. There are some APIs out there. You can add into the cache. As soon as you add it into this cache, we'll be writing our mapper, we'll be writing your reducer. We'll be writing your mapper and we'll be writing your reducer. So what we will do, in this map method, we'll be having a setup method. Okay. In the setup method, we will read this file and we'll prepare some collection or whatever the map key value pair. Collection or a map, hash map. I'm talking about map means hash map. Key value pair. Then you'll write. In the normal map methods or in the, okay, so it's a mapper instance. Mapper instance. It's a class mapper. In the map method, we'll actually processing this bigger set data set. In the map method, you're actually processing a bigger data set. Now, here you'll be having a key value pair, right? So here key will take a department ID, department ID. So now, by taking the department ID, and we will look at in this whether the department ID exists or not. If it is exist, you will do with your business logic. If it does not exist, you will do. Now, this mappers may launch in multiple places, mapper 1, mapper 2, mapper 3, mapper 4. So all these people can copy parallelly, they can access this data parallelly. That's why it's a distributed cache. The data, whatever the data is in the cache, it is distributed across the multiple resources or multiple mappers. So that is the reason we're calling it as a distributed cache. And this cache memory also has some limitation, guys. You cannot keep more than 10 GB. You cannot keep more than 10 GB file. Okay, till 10 GB you can keep it. Okay, so to see that, we have to go and look at the configuration file to find what is the maximum limit, and we can allocate for this. We can change that. Okay, so that is about. Okay, that's about distributed caching. Any other questions about this?
Veera, this is Sunil.
Yeah, tell me, Sunil.
Uh, my question is, suppose we are getting error, memory heap error while running the mapper job. So what can be the possible solution to avoid this?
Very good question. What we need to do, we need to increase our heap memory. In your Java code only you will be writing, there is something called, you will be, let me tell you that, in the right, let me open the file, I can show you. Let me open the file. Okay. I didn't remember the parameter name. That's what. There will be something hyphen x, vm, x. There is some parameters will be there. You have to increase those. By default, it will be taking some 1 GB or something. So you have to increase the you have to increase your in a configuration file also you can increase. You have to increase your heap memory. In a configuration file only you have to increase in configuration there. If you're doing a distributed uh, MR mode, if you're executing in MR mode, you have to execute. If you see here arguments, they are their VM arguments. Your virtual machine JVM arguments. Here you have to give. Here you have to give hyphen opt. Some parameters are there. You have to give that, or you have to go to your. Let me check in MapRead. I think MapRead default it will be there. You have to increase your heap memory. Nothing else. The JVM memory will be there.
If we reduce the input split size, then it can also be possible to avoid that.
So if you reduce the input split, how it will be possible? There are multiple mappers may launch, right?
So
The
more
inputs,
mapper will execute.
correct. So if you
Something.
have more resource, the more mappers can launch. If you are okay with if you have more resources, let's say, okay, if you have more resources, you have only 2 splits, that's a bad idea. So what you can do, you can reduce your block size, you can reduce your input split size, you get the more input splits, then make use of all the resources. See, memory out of exception, when it will come, whenever the data is getting processed in your heap memory. Your heap memory, I think you might have know about what is the heap memory. So to increase that heap memory, we have some parameters. Let me, that's what I'm checking here.
Okay.
We can increase them. We can increase them. If an opt. Yeah, this is the one. Look at guys here. This is the memory. This one. You have to increase this. By default, is 1 GB maximum. You have to increase it based on your cluster size, based on your RAM availability in this. Okay. Hyphen opt. I mean, I didn't remember complete this one, so I was just remember this part. So I searched with this.
One way is from JVM argument, another way is this
No,
file.
JVM arguments. Yes, someone is also Priyanka. Priyanka also sending this. So JVM arguments also you can change it. Yes, in a configuration in export file. Yeah, this is the one where you are doing your yarn.app.map reduce this and the same. 1, 2. This is the other one 3. So by default is 1 GB. You can increase it.
Okay, fine.
So this is also one of the interview question, guys. So they may ask you that why how what are the real-time issues you have faced? What are the real-time issues you have faced? You can say one of this.
This is the only answer or something else we can say about it, because the interviewer asked me that any other way, any other way.
This is the one way. Any other way means, suppose if you can say that if you have more resources, you can reduce the block size or you can reduce the input split size. So multiple mappers can be launched. And see, when multiple mappers are launched, let me same JVM, multiple, yeah, yes, multiple mappers can launch. Each mapper will have their own JVM. Yes, so it can be processed.
So that is another way because
Yes,
we are reducing the block size or we are reducing the input size, so mapper will take less memory at that GPU.
yes.
Okay, fine. These two ways. Fine.
We will configure that one GB database to 2 GB.
Yes, you can configure 2 GB, 4 GB, whatever it is, based on your RAM. So you keep in mind that it will be launching in a single machine, right? This is whatever you're changing here, that's for the single machine, single data node. So you can keep in mind that the data node has a more RAM or whatever the RAM here. You can use. Yes, someone is pinging the name is not there, and
I
someone is waiting for the name. That is I also telling the based on the RAM. Yes, it is based on the RAM. I request you to keep
based
the
on
name, yeah, based on the RAM for the data node.
I think your RAM is 16 GB.
Whose RAM?
Yeshwar is talking. I think your RAM is 16 GB.
My RAM is 16 GB, fine. So in the data node I'm talking, this is the default configuration which I'm showing you. This is the default.
Okay.
If you want to change it, you have to put it
This
in
is
your site XML.
uh, I had some doubt.
What is it about?
1024 we have to replace. I think
Correct. You have to replace that only.
1024 we have to revert to for 2048.
That we can calculate based on the number of bytes. Okay, that's not to worry much about it. You just need,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Any other doubts?
No, nothing.
Okay. Anyone else? I think someone is not keep the name, so I request you to keep the name to understand whether who you are, and when I want to connect with you or when I want to talk to you, I need your name. So please set the name by double clicking on your thing. You can change. What is the change address? Could you please explain what is the change address? Change the address.
Yep, that
No,
is, I
not you.
think,
Sorry.
this is Yeshwar talking.
Tell me, Ishwar.
Yep, change address means I think we have to change the IP configuration settings.
Why we need to change the IP configuration settings for the memory issue?
I think so. We have to, there is no, in network, there is no need to change the IP address.
No need, no need. No, I'm talking about someone else here, waiting for the name. So waiting for the name is telling the configuration. He's talking about the same configuration or he's talking something else. I just want to understand. If it's something else, please update us. We'll also try to understand what is that.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, guys. So that's it for it. I think we didn't get a time to start our admin commands. We'll start the admin commands in next class, in Monday class. Okay. Any doubts?
నంబర్ బాగా నంబర్ బాగా పొలం పనులు 2 ఆవులు పెట్టుకొని